Hello and welcome to Climate Check with me, Mary Mwiikisa. I'm excited to be here today as we continue to discuss climate action and environmental protection. Now, what's trending in the news? President Hakainde Hichilema yesterday commissioned FQM's Kansanshi Mine S3 expansion project worth $1.2 billion, the largest investment in the sector in the history of Zambia. And this extends the lifespan of Kansanshi Mine by 20 years. And that is great news. Massive investment. And talking about the mining sector, Zambia is targeting to produce 3 million metric tons by the year 2031. And of course, on the program today, we will be talking about sustainable and hazard-free mining, because in order for us to meet the target of the 3 million metric tons, it means more mines opening, more expansion projects like what happened yesterday. But how are we doing this mining? Is it sustainable? Are we taking care of the environment? And that is what we'll be talking about on Climate Check today. Also on the program, we will be taking you to a debate between Mukuba University and the University of Zambia around environmental protection. We take a short break. Join me on the other side. Now, we'll start off the program by highlighting what happened at the Youth Voices for Climate and Environmental Debate. And these are a series of debates being orchestrated by Center for Environment Justice as well as HIVO's Southern Africa. And this was around the need for an environmental court in Zambia. These are the highlights.
HIVO's Southern Africa and the Center for Environment Justice, CEJ, held a second event in debate series focused on youth voices for climate and environmental justice in Lusaka. The debate, which was between the University of Zambia and Mukuba University, was based on the topic, the need for creation of a specialized environmental court in the country. Project manager for the Strengthening Respect for Environmental Rights, Vuyo Mapango, highlighted the objectives of the debate.
The debate is called Youth Voices for Climate and Environmental Justice. So as the name says, we are trying to raise youth voices to focus on empowering them with technical skills as regards the environment and how they can protect it. They are the future. And we believe in attaining the sustainability of tomorrow. We have to start safeguarding it today. And that's why we are seeing young people debate on issues that are pertinent that may otherwise not be taught in school. We're giving them the opportunity to understand what is going on. One part of the program was a panel discussion where we focused on the target of the 3 million metric tons target that the country is having. For young people, I think that is very critical for them to understand.
The debaters brought out various environmental concerns.
Etiquette are highly, sincerely observed. Back to the motion which stipulates as articulate. The recurrent incidence of violations of environmental regulations and laws in Zambia highlights the need for the creation of a specialized environmental court in the country. End of quote. Affiliates of this administration to this motion we strongly oppose to. As the chief whip or the summarizer, it is my obligated duty to lay concrete to the already laid claims by my previous speakers, as well as to rebuttal some of the claims laid by my opposition, as well as to suggest the way forward for the pre-current government to take forward.
It seems that the team opposition has failed to address three important aspects of this motion. First of all, they've failed to stick to the motion which focuses on recurrent violation of environmental laws and regulations. Secondly, they failed to give us the status quo of why it is important now not to establish an environmental court based on these existing violations. And thirdly, they seem to focus much on the cost, financial cost, but they're forgetting two most important costs, the input and social impact cost. House of Intellectuals. What exactly makes environmental cases and violations so special that they need a separate court on their own? House of Intellectuals. Think about it this way. Zambia is a developing country. Many African developing countries have taken on the idea of taking an environmental court. And of course, the first and second speaker from the opposing side seem to have misquoted. South Africa did not close their environmental court, but they reconsidered taking on international environmental cases.
Transparency, not creation of a new code and not creation of a new institution. Members of this August House, for people to trust the legal system, they have to see how well it makes its decisions and how open it shares information about cases. Members of this August House, creating a new code will not automatically mean people are going to trust the system. If the system is not clear, if the system is not open, meaning it will make things seem more confusing and secretive. I'd love to call from the environmental crime on the courts, beginning of court. It is a further problem that many of those who claim to have insufficient means to pay a reasonable and appropriate level of fine are nonetheless making significant profits from their crimes. End of quotation. The Good Samaritan passed this to the judges for further clarification. From the Mineral Regulations and Conditions Act of 2024, the Green Economy and Climate Change Act of 2024, this goes on to show that our legislative and formulative framework is modernizing with the modern world. But however, we're still having problems with current status quo, and these problems can be attributed to how our formulation aspect is not modernizing with the legislative aspect. That is why we want to bring in the modernization as side government by bringing a specialized judiciary system that focuses on cases to do with the environment. Before I proceed, allow me to engage on major misconceptions that the side opposition have brought into today's debate. So now we've got the second speaker coming and telling us about how ZEMA is responsible to prosecute. He claims that ZEMA is responsible for arresting. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to clear that as soon as possible. ZEMA is responsible for conducting investigations. Arresting is done after someone is being taken to court and being proven guilty. So courts are responsible for arresting and not ZEMA.
Very ineffective, just like ZEMA and WEMA are ineffective because they are greatly underfunded.
These problems that the judicial sector is facing today, South Africa faced the similar problems. But in 2003, they went on and established a court that deals with environmental violations. But due to the number of challenges, that court has been closed. Allow me to quote from Stop Illegal Fishing. This highlights the challenges that they face that the court in South Africa faced, and they had shut it down.
And Parliamentary Caucus on Environment and Climate Change member Monty Chinkuli reiterated the importance of such activities towards climate action.
Urging government to create an independent court that is going to look at these matters. Just like I want to refer to this, this court that we have created, which looks at crimes against the economic issues. So now that's why even them are saying, may the government create this court so that all these injustices that are taking place, where the environment is being degraded as a result of pollution, corruption, and the like, to manage or to govern that environment.
The final round was very competitive, with the University of Zambia finally emerging victorious. Climate action and environmental rights conversations are key in fostering positive change in communities. Dominic Davis Chifumbe, reporting for Climate Check in Lusaka.
Welcome back to Climate Check. Let me now introduce my studio guest. I have with me Mr. Henry Mwiikisa, who is the CEO of Opticom Investments Limited, and he will be helping us appreciate sustainable mining, hazard-free mining, mining that takes care of the environment. As we make our money, we must ensure that our environment is hazard-free of mining issues. Welcome to Climate Check, and thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show.
Thank you very much, Mary.
All right. Now, let's first appreciate what you do as a company.
Opticom Investments actually is a Zambian-based company working with a number of technology holders or technology developers in the area of energy, mining, and agriculture.
Okay. So today my focus is on the mining sector. Yesterday, President HH commissioned FQM's Kansanshi Mine S3 expansion project, and this is worth $1.2 billion US, extending the mine's lifespan to 20 years. As we target to produce 3 million metric tons by 2031, this means you have a lot of work to do with mining companies, because there'll be more mining activities in the country?
Yes, please, because looking at that expansion and the expansion program that is going on in the country today in the mining sector, this is opening up to a lot of waste that will be generated, and this waste has to be managed. And we've got a program to look at waste management of tailings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've touched on tailings, because earlier in the year, the story that has been trending actually even now is the Sinometos pollution in the Copper Belt, where we saw water contamination in the Kafue River and its tributaries, as well as the soil around the communities where the tailings dam collapsed, and the stories in public domain. How best do you think that situation would have been handled? Could it have been prevented?
Yes, in a way it could have been prevented, because there are technologies out there right now that are working very effectively and making the tailings waste be, transformed into reusable or reusable material, or the tailings itself.
Okay.
The tailings material can be sustainable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so the biggest issue generally, I don't understand much about mining, but is it because of the contents of the tailings that are hazard to the environment, and there's a way in which that can be avoided if the contents of the tailings are treated in a certain way?
Yes.
Okay. How does it work?
It actually works in a way that there's a product called Emosim.
Okay. Emosim.
Emosim is a product that can immobilize the contaminants in the tailings.
Neutralizing the
Neutralizing the contaminants, which are heavy metals, as well as acids and many other pollutants.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how accessible are such products for mining companies in Zambia? Because we have a lot of mining companies at various levels of scale. Some may not actually be aware of some of these interventions.
Yeah, these interventions are new technologies that are coming up now, and we are privileged to host such products in the country today.
How much engagement are you doing with mining companies around this product?
Currently, we are in discussions with a number of mining companies. We have just introduced ourselves to them, and we are discussing on the way forward.
Okay. Okay. And how best do you think, as a country, we can engage in sustainable mining? Because whether we like it or not, Zambia is a mining country.
Yeah, we have to actually bring technologies from countries that have faced similar situations. Countries especially in Brazil, Peru, and Chile. There has been a big big outbursts of tailings in such countries, which is now extending to areas like Zambia as well, because of the climate situation that we are having. We are having rainfall, which is actually flooding the country, and also we are having intense climate heat that is also able to make those tailings, when a whirlwind comes, that tailings goes with the wind, and that wind is also carrying out all the toxins which we now breathe.
So it's actually just beyond the tailing collapsing.
Yes, please.
Even the wind
can blow that dust.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
How possible is it that our mining companies can be compelled to use these technologies that take care of the tailings contents before a disaster happens? Because if this is what it takes to protect our environment, why not? Is it possible to compare, or is it against the law, or how does it work? Because this is something that every mine should do.
It's not against the law. Every mine is mandated to actually develop a system for their tailings. And every mine has to have a tailings where they have to discard the waste and store the waste. But then again, this waste can also be regenerated to its natural form and be used as construction material.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
In the mines.
Okay.
In construction material for backfilling, paste backfilling, and hydraulic backfilling, underground, both underground and in the open pit, in order to prevent the walls from falling off. Yeah.
Okay. What would you like to see happen in terms of inspections and the actual work to ensure that these tailings meet the standards? What do you expect from institutions such as ZEMA and the government through the Ministry of Mines?
Well, we are going to work with ZEMA, the Ministry of Mines, the Ministry of Green Economy, and the civil society, and all stakeholders, so that we can all come up with a very good innovative ideas or innovative technologies that will work for Zambia. Yeah.
Okay. And you brought out a very important point, especially in terms of construction now, because of the extreme weather. It's very difficult to maintain the standards that have been there all along in terms of construction. Talk about road construction and any other type of infrastructure. Everybody is looking to climate resilient infrastructure. Let's talk about the road network.
In terms of road network, we've got another product that is called RoadSim. RoadSim is a product that will make sure that we construct roads that will stand the test of time. You know, these extreme weathers, like floods, and also heat intensity. And today we are having a lot of trucks and vehicles passing on the roads. Every minute, a truck or a car is passing through the road. So we need to create these roads to be more durable and cost effective. Yes.
Okay. This is Climate Check. I was talking to Mr. Henry Mwiikisa, Opticom Investments Limited CEO, just highlighting the benefits of the products that could help our mining sector do the mining in a hazard-free way in order for us to protect the environment. This is Climate Check. Let's have a look at this report by Hector Simfukwe, highlighting the commissioning of the Kansanshi Mine S3 expansion project that President Hakainde Hichilema commissioned recently.
It is done. The project that holds the future of copper mining in Northwestern Province has come to life. The $1.2 billion United States S3 expansion project at FQM Kansanshi Mine has been commissioned by President Hakainde Hichilema. The investment is expected to extend the life of the mine by 20 more years. The head of state first toured the project before addressing the people.
But I'm saying this is not one of the largest in the UPND government history. I'm saying in the history of our country's investments. Count the projects. This is one of them, by sheer size and the quantum of money invested. You heard the numbers already. It is truly a strategic driver, this project, to our national growth. To many citizens, you have heard me speak. When I say something in the early days, I know in a democracy others saying, we started talking about turning the fortunes of this country.
President Hichilema also said his government wants more Zambians to be involved in business. He also touched on the formalization of artisanal mining under the directive for the Minister of Mines.
I'm hereby instructing this Minister of Mines to do a number of things around artisanal and small-scale mining. Number one, to transform the illegal miners into legal, artisanal, and small-scale miners. No more illegal mining. No more lawlessness. If we are lawlessness, we frighten investment. If we are lawless. No more deaths. No more deaths in our pits. I cannot be head of state and allow my young people to go in those rat holes, knowing that if 10 of them enter those holes in the morning, Mabanga, 3-4 of them are dead. And we bury them, we mourn, we continue burying them, we mourn. What are we doing? That's not right. There's no leader, genuine leader, who is going to allow that to happen. Because it's like facilitating suicide. We should all stand together on this one. Mr. Pella, we want you to mine, but legally. Number two, we will provide training for our small-scale, artisanal small-scale miners in safe mining.
The president further touched on the state of the roads in the province, making a major pronouncement.
Soon, Solwezi will be a super city. I can see it myself. From a dusty city to proper roads, because we're investing here. There are investments here. I can also tell you that because of the investments here in Northwestern, the routing we used to go to Lusaka from Solwezi was Chingola, isn't it? Chingola, Copperbelt, Central, then Lusaka. Almost a semicircle. Yet Lusaka is so near here. Because of this investment, I will be returning next month to launch the shorter route to Lusaka, Mutanda, Kasempa, Kaoma Road.
Speaking at the same event, Minister of Mine Paul Kabuswe urged investors to come to Zambia.
That they have in your policies and in this economy. Those of you that are on the fence, come on board. There is no perfect destination on this world, but there is one that is favorable, like Zambia is today. And that is why we are over $9 billion in terms of the investments that have come in the mining sector in the 4 years of Hakainde Hichilema.
I would like to commend First Quantum Minerals on behalf of the province and provincial administration for their tireless efforts in ensuring that the benefits of mining are shared equitably among stakeholders.
And a representative from First Quantum Mine said the mine will continue supporting communities in areas of operation.
This project will extend the life of Kansanshi for another 2 decades, securing thousands of jobs and creating new ones, boosting local procurement and generating significant revenues for national development, and for infrastructure in Solwezi, in our town, and beyond.
FQM is expected to produce more than 250,000 tons of copper per year from Kansanshi mine as the S3 project becomes operational. Hector Simfokwe, znbc News, Solwezi.
We have come to the end of Climate Check for this week. I will be back next week, same time, same channel, as we continue having conversations around climate action and environmental protection. My name is Mary Mwiikisa. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.